I'm going to do a little intro to this video this time. I have been doing a night series with my boas. If you're new to the channel, I have two boas that I've gotten in the last 2 years. I have a Nicaraguan boa, which is a dwarf boa. It's a smaller boa, so that is beneficial for me because I don't want to have a 7-foot plus large length snake anymore. So Nicaraguan boa is a smaller boa, about 4.5 to 5 feet. And after I got Manny, my Nicaraguan boa, I got a second boa, and that was Leo. And Leo is a what's called a hypoboa, a hypomelanistic. Just they don't have the same pigment as a regular boa, so he's kind of an orange, kind of a sherbet color, sherbet orange. A little bit of maybe pink red, so I have these two. And so this used to be my tegu enclosure. I have two tegus, if you don't know, in the love of my life, or my reptiles. So I have two gorgeous, lovely 2.5-year-old tegus. So this was a tegu pen, a custom wooden cage that I built. And when I first built it, I didn't have the tops on it. So now in the last 7 or 8 months, I put these nice tops. I built these out, with my hands, and stained them and painted everything. And so both of these tops flip up and down. But I have moved the tegus out. They do not like this cage and being enclosed in a cage. So they just roam the house and roam a room, and they're very, very happy. And again, it's like 94 degrees in here, so I will start sweating, and the humidity is high. I mean, you walk in here and it's like clinging in a jungle almost. It's terrible. Good for snakes and reptiles, and it may even be too hot for the boas. And during the day they hide. They go poof. They go to different spots and they get out of the light. And so they may be diurnal to a point of where they're up during the day and mostly up during the night, but mine are more nocturnal, meaning that they spend most of their time out of the light, hidden, and then when it becomes night, then they become a lot more active, and that's usually when they search for food. So I put them in this large enclosure, and Manny and Leo have not hung out a lot together in the certain period amount of time that I've had Manny and Leo. Maybe I've had Leo 6 months. They've only hung out twice so far, and let them kind of get really, really close and smell each other and interact. But the other day, I shot some more security cam footage video where I have these cameras around my house. I put one into the enclosure at night, and it lights up red, and it allows the camera to see at night and track activity. So I wanted to see what all they were doing in this cage at night. Let me just tell you, I videoed Manny, my Nicaraguan boa, in here already, and I didn't have any lights on in the room, and Manny was all over this cage. Now remember that I sped the video up a lot. Know the percentage that I sped it up, but if you looked at this real time, he would be crawling like a snail. But in the video, he's bouncing all around and stuff. So just keep that in mind, that I have sped that up quite a bit to make the video more entertaining, so more people would watch more of the video and be more entertained, because it's like a snail's pace with them moving around. But so I had Manny in here, and he was all over the cage, and I put some more limbs in here. From my research, Manny is more of a ground boa than a up in the tree type of boa. More terrestrial instead of a boreal. Boreal meaning up in the trees, and terrestrial meaning more of a ground dwelling animal. So I transitioned to at night, when it's completely 100% dark in here. It's dark in here in the room. I incorporated one of my little lights, one of my reptile lights, and I have, first I used a little red filter that just conveniently fit in there. This wasn't made for that. And I put that right here on the top where I have the LED or the fluorescent lights that put down UVB for the tegus during the day. But they do light the cage for the snakes during the day to simulate daytime and nighttime because they flip off at night. So I've got the red, and that really, when I put that in there, that really, let me see, it made the snakes not move around as much. I don't know why, that red glow, and then I transitioned to this blue glow. Let me see if I can flip this on real quick to give you an idea. So this is a CFL bulb, like 5 watt, and it'll warm up and put out more light output, but it's puts a blue hue in the cage, and the red one puts a red, and it just kind of simulates night, for nocturnal animals. But when I put in these lights, it really tamed them down. Without the lights on, and it was black in there, they were all over cruising around, both of them. But when I put these, put the blue and the red light in there and cast that light down in there, it really slowed them down, and they weren't zooming around as much or exploring as much. They tend to just kind of almost get under the light. Manny especially get under the light like he's basking under it, but it's not putting out any heat. It's like a 5 watt CFL bulb. It puts out 0 heat. And I've got that series of the the night video, and that's coming up after I just give you this introduction. I put Manny in there, and then I was like, man, I'm just going to go ahead and put Leo in there. Manny is quite a bit bigger, probably double the size of Leo, my hypo boa, but they act friendly when they're together. The 2 or 3 times that I've had them together, and so I put them in there, and it was just very interesting. I think you'll find the video very interesting too if you're into boas and into research and into your snakes about the behavior, because I don't know if Leo is a female or a male. I mean, he's supposed to be a male, but you know how that works out. You can easily get a female when they've told you that it's a male. But when I had them in here, Manny, my Nicaraguan boa, is super interested and kind of follows around my hypo boa, and you can see him sniffing wherever the hypo boa goes. Manny's right there sniffing, and with his tongue all around, and some strange behavior. It kind of looks like Manny is interested sexually in Leo, which are supposed to be both males. I'm just trying to remind you, but maybe Leo, the hypo boa, she's a female. So very interesting. So watch the video. I've sped it up quite a bit. Just remember that. So they're bouncing around, but otherwise they would be moving really, really slow. But I think it's just an interesting video, and this is dirt that's gathered on top of my top. It's all in this room. You'll see the inside, but I've got limbs. This portion lifts up to give me access to different parts of the cage, and both of them are in there right now, and I'm thinking about just leaving them in there. Manny sleeps over here in a little rock hide that I bought for like $25. I can't remember, Exoterra. Pretty nice and pretty good size, that he has plenty of room in there because he's bigger. He's about 4 feet, and Leo is about 2.5 feet, and Leo sleeps in this large piece of cut, sliced off tree portion that had a natural hole in it, that rotted out. And so I went in there and pulled a little bit of dirt out under there. So he has a natural like chamber down in the stump. All right, Manny is in this little hide right here, and you can see Leo right in there. You can see him peeking out. There's his little head. He just loves that stump. And that's really, really cool, natural. And this is the inside of their enclosure. And you'll see the time-lapse video coming up right now.